In the previous episode of the Kaiserslautern Career Mode, we spent more than any transfer window prior by signing Zagadou, Gomez, and Davies. We faced some difficult opposition against Dortmund and Manchester United in the German and UEFA Super Cups. We began our Champions League campaign and achieved a first-place finish in our group. Hey, what's going on, everyone? Flick here. Welcome back to another episode of our FIFA 20 Kaiserslautern Career Mode and what will be the final episode of this series. It has been a wild ride the last few months, and it is hard to believe that this career mode is coming to an end, but considering where we currently stand in the Bundesliga and the fact that our Pokal and Champions League endeavors are still intact, I think the timing is right. But I do want to give one final thanks to each and every one of you that show support on this series and the channel. I consider this to be a team effort, and I genuinely wouldn't be able to do this career mode without your help. As we look forward to FIFA 21, I want to keep a lot of these values intact on the channel. For every kind of series I do, I want to make sure that you guys stay involved in some way, shape, or form. Obviously, there will be some new styles of content as every FIFA is a little bit different, and who knows what we might be able to achieve together on the channel in FIFA 21. Ultimately, I am very excited about the future. That's a good feeling to have, and I hope you all are excited for the content coming on the channel over the next year. But considering this is the final episode of the Kaiserslautern Career Mode, at least in FIFA 21, I wanted to do a special tribute today and kind of look back at some of the best moments throughout the career mode, and I will leave timestamps in case you want to just get ahead with the episode and see how we progress in the Champions League, the Bundesliga, as well as the Pokal. But we'll begin with kind of a look at our two main icons in this career mode, that being Michael Ballack and Miroslav Klose. They were kind of the essential part and the idea behind this career mode, and I'm really glad we had a chance to use them for this Kaiserslautern save. But there were, of course, some other original players, including Theodor Bergman, who scored this free kick against Paderborn, and one of the only free kicks that we managed to score over the course of the career mode. While they were not a part of the original Kaiserslautern squad, I consider Sem Schmitz and Timo Bohm to both be key squad players, and we've basically been using them since season 1 or season 2, and it was amazing to find basically two back-to-back 5-star skill players. I still consider that to be an amazing achievement and something that I don't know if I'll ever see again in a career mode. And both of these players scored some big goals over the course of the save. Not to mention the fact that Schmitz ended up being our highest rated player, surpassing both Klose and Ballack's ratings. But let's not forget about Matt Whaler. We signed him as a free agent, and he ended up becoming a key second striker alongside Klose. And it was so easy to train him up, it was almost meant to be for him to be a part of our starting 11. We also had some incredible comebacks over the course of the career mode, beating FC Bayern München in our first season, and coming back from a 2-0 deficit against Borussia Dortmund to ultimately win that match 3-2. Everything wasn't always perfect with this career mode, though. We had some funny bloopers, including the ball teleporting out of Grill's hands here and conceding this chip shot goal that was scored against us by Dresden, and in that same match we were practically tripping over our own players to concede this header. And then finally, probably our lowest point in the career mode was being 3-0 up against Frankfurt and eventually drawing that match. Despite all those bloopers, we still have lifted 4 trophies up to this point in the career mode: the Zweite Bundesliga title, the Deutsche Pokal, along with the UEFA Europa League and UEFA Super Cup. Looking into this episode, our main objective will be to see out the Bundesliga title. That was my primary goal going into this series, and if we can lift the UEFA Champions League as well, I would consider that to be the crowning achievement with this Kaiserslautern squad. Let's get into the matches and see how we do. No signings during this transfer window, but I do want to showcase our first choice starting 11 because there have been some changes to the overall ratings. As forecasted in the last episode, our round of 16 fixture in the Champions League will be a rematch against Manchester United. We beat them at the start of the season in the UEFA Super Cup, and we managed to win the first leg 2-0. However, we suffered a big injury. Our starting goalkeeper, Grill, will be out for 2 months. Along with that, within the same week, we also suffered a 2-month injury to our starting striker, Miroslav Klose. Despite the injuries, we managed to stitch together a quality starting 11, and we will be advancing to the quarterfinals of the Champions League, courtesy of a 1-1 draw in the second leg and a 3-1 win on aggregate against Manchester United. Lo and behold, it is Liverpool once again that we've been matched up against. We beat them in the Europa League final last season, and the first leg we managed to again be victorious, winning this one 2-1. It was more bad news as our backup goalkeeper Graf also suffered an injury, but luckily Grill returned to the starting 11 just in time. Although he is slightly injured, we will be giving him the nod for this quarterfinal matchup. To be fair, I think we were very fortunate to have beaten Liverpool 2-0 in the Europa League final last season, and I'm expecting a tougher match today. Not to mention, we're also going to be playing at Anfield, which is truly an advantage for Liverpool. But it does look like this Liverpool squad have made some improvements to their starting 11. Of course, you got the icons there with Gerrard and Owen, but Dembele will truly be a threat at right wing. As demonstrated throughout this career mode, if you can score the first goal, you are setting yourself on the right path, and De La Vega with a clear opportunity to make things 1-0. Unfortunately, he hits this one wide. But you know, we weren't done there. More link-up play between Davies and Schmitz. That seems to be a great partnership this season. Weyler applying the pressure. Eventually, it's going to be Lammers who floats in a cross. And despite a decent volleyed effort from De La Vega, he was called back for offside. We're going to turn to some Liverpool highlights now as Bella Kotchup tries to clear this chance away. It falls to Woodburn, and this is a fantastic finesse shot effort from the youngster, or maybe not a youngster anymore, but regardless, it made things 1-0 for us, and that is a dangerous goal to concede because that gave Liverpool the advantage due to away goals. Great players find a way to contribute goals in key moments, and it will be none other than Matt Weyler to score probably what is his first header goal in this career mode to make things level on the day, but put us ahead on aggregate. After scoring that goal, things just started to click for us. Again, it's going to be Davies from this left-hand side playing a pass in to Weyler. And at this point, I was just trying to make something happen. Lammers was absolutely clinical inside the box. I didn't expect that much space to open up, but given the opportunity, maybe 6 yards in front of goal, Lammers won't be missing from there. And that probably will be enough to put us through in this match, considering now we have the away goals advantage. But we need to keep pushing on, not let Liverpool have any sense of hope. And here I was again just sort of setting in a cross, hoping something might happen, and ultimately it was defensive error from both the Liverpool center back and the goalkeeper Alisson, as the ball was only going to find the back of the net. We just needed to hang on at this point. Liverpool were still pouring forward players, trying to give themselves maybe some confidence that they can translate over to the league or something. But it's going to be Gerrard who tries to score a very similar goal to the one that Liverpool scored earlier in the match. This one being just wide. I think Grill might have had it covered. But again, Davies from the left. It's a recurring theme in this career mode. And now it's going to be our super sub Gomez, who just dribbles by so many of the Liverpool defenders. I thought Lammers would have been offside, but apparently he was on, and he made it 4 for us. If you look at the replay, it was indeed close, but I'm not going to complain about a 6-2 win on aggregate. Confidence was certainly high after a big victory against Liverpool, but our semi-final fixture is going to be our biggest challenge yet, as we have to play against a stacked Milan squad. You can get an idea of just how good Milan are, judging by their starting 11 and substitutes. I'm going to highlight their icons here in just a second, but our first leg did not go well. Away from home, we lost 3-0. The hope was not fully lost. For the first time in what seemed like months, we finally had a fully available and fully rested starting 11. It's always going to be difficult to score 3 goals and, more importantly, hold a clean sheet because we didn't manage to score an away goal. But because Milan are rocking a fairly offensive formation, that narrow 4-1-2-1-2, I think there is some chance that they can have some defensive discrepancies. But you can see from all these icons that it's going to be a tough road ahead. We will get off to a positive start though. Practically right after kickoff, we'll find De La Vega on the right hand side, and he just seemed to have more pace than these Milan defenders. The pass wasn't the greatest, but Ballack will create a opportunity here. Unfortunately, it does go wide, but that's the sort of start I wanted. Now Schmitz playing the ball across. It worked for us against Liverpool, but it just wasn't working against Milan. Another opportunity, this time with Tyler Adams. You guys mentioned a couple episodes ago whether he goes on attacking runs. Well, there's your answer. I don't know how many goals I've actually scored with him in game, but I think he was one of the few players that wanted to get involved in the attacking sense. Of course, our center defense and mid weren't holding back as much as they usually do. I do have to give some credit to our defense. They played extremely well in this first half, limiting a lot of Milan's chances, and the few that they did have, they really didn't generate much. And now Davies taking the ball away and using some of that pace. Unfortunately, Milan's defenders were also very strong. Maldini with a key interception. Weyler looked to be through, and this is going to be truly the dagger for us. Milan equalize, and they score that crucial away goal, making it 4-1 on aggregate. Although the odds are definitely stacked against us, I wanted to keep our heads high and try to exit the Champions League in a good fashion, regardless of the result. If we were to get eliminated here in the semifinal, or we make our way to the final, Gomez does draw a penalty against Maldini, and then we will let Klose take this one, making it 2-1 on the day, and then 2-4 on aggregate. And then in the 90th minute, we're not going to, of course, be advancing, but I want to continue the positive momentum. We still have a lot to play for in the Bundesliga. And again, it's Gomez who drew the penalty, who eventually scores another goal for us. What a signing he has been. I would have loved to have pulled off a dream comeback. And had we not conceded that header goal to Shevchenko, we would have actually equalized and forced extra time. But personally, I believe things happen for a reason. And I strongly feel that the attitude and momentum we have in this match will translate over to the rest of our season. Although our Champions League dreams have come to an end, we do have a very important final match day to play in the Bundesliga. As you can see from the league table, Leipzig only trail us by 3 points with a 2-goal difference for the goal differential. We had a huge lead in the Bundesliga at the halfway mark, but because of the injuries that we suffered, it's going to be interesting for our final match day. And this is what I mean by things happening for a reason. Despite losing in the Champions League, I feel like the mentality for us to even get back into that match is going to carry over to the Bundesliga. We need to be focused and play at our best if we want to be crowned champions. It goes without saying how important this match is for us, and I truly believe that the 7 seasons that have taken part in this road to glory have all added up to this moment. And what a great day it is for us to play against Hoffenheim. The only thing that could have made this better is if we were playing in front of our home fans, but that won't be stopping us. Again, we'll utilize our wingers here in this 3-5-2 formation. Good play from De La Vega, finding the cross inside to Schmitz, and our highest rated player will make things 1-0 for Kaiserslautern with a nice clinical finish. It's De La Vega again in the 13th minute. What an addition he has been to this career mode. This time, his pace will help us draw a penalty. And it's just something that these Hoffenheim defenders cannot match up against. I've actually switched around our penalty kick takers to let Ballack step up. He has the best penalty stats at this point in the career mode, and he will make it 2-0. We were not done there, though, as De La Vega was putting in a man-of-the-match performance, again getting involved. All this within the first 20 minutes or so. This time he spots out the cross, and that is going to be the simplest of goals for Matt Whaler. In the right place, at the right time. And we've seen us drop a couple of matches after being up 3-0. So I still want to play at our best. This time Klose will try to make it 4 all before the halftime break, but it's a good save from Oliver Baumann. And now it's going to be Whaler playing it through to Schmitz. A lot of green grass in front of him and not a lot of Hoffenheim players. We'll play the cross inside, and Klose just couldn't seem to get that 4th goal for us, as it was another good save from Baumann. But as we transition to the second half, I'm happy to report that the momentum stayed with us, and Hoffenheim weren't really a threat for us at any point in this career mode. All the way to the 85th minute, it's going to be Davies, who showcases some of his good defensive ability, winning back possession, and what a way to end off this career mode. It's a Miroslav Klose header, and it's been good to see him score a couple of header goals since upgrading to his prime icon status. This is one of our biggest score lines throughout the entirety of the career mode, and what a way to send off this Kaiserslautern save in the Bundesliga. If I'm being honest, I would have preferred not having to wait to the final match day to clinch our Bundesliga title, but if it's meant to be, it is meant to be. And finally, after so many years, we're going to be bringing the Bundesliga back home to Kaiserslautern. I truly hope Kaiserslautern's performance IRL will eventually follow the path that we've taken in this career mode. It's been great to bring these German giants back to the Bundesliga and now win a Bundesliga title, as well as some success in the Champions League. Our Bundesliga campaign really came down to the wire, but in the years to come, I don't think people are going to remember our poor form in the second half of the season. Rather, we will be remembered as the winners of the Bundesliga title. Transitioning to the bottom half of the table, this won't make much of an impact for the career mode, but it's unfortunate to see Hertha going down alongside Freiburg. Our top goal scorer this season was a bit of a surprise, but because of the Klose injury, I think that had a big impact on these numbers. Regardless, Ballack was our number 1 scorer with 28 goals across 52 matches. Schmitz in second with 27 goals across 49. And as mentioned, Klose, significantly fewer matches with just 41, but he still netted 24 goals. As for the assist category, Sam Schmitz was our number 1 contributor with 8 assists from 49 matches. Ballack also with 8 assists, but he had more matches played with 52. And then our new signing from last season, Pedro de la Vega, finally getting in the top 3 for the scorers/assists with 7 assists from 41 matches. I wish we had been given the chance to play in a Champions League final for this career mode, but ultimately it was the team that eliminated us, Milan, who defeated Juventus in an all-Italy final. And it was a pretty early exit for us in the Pokal, considering our performance in the last few seasons, but FC Bayern did end up winning that competition as well, so I would say we were a bit unlucky with our draws this season. I genuinely believe if injuries didn't play as big of a role in our second half of the season, we would see more of our players higher up in the top scores. We still had a lot of players contributing, with Ballack in third with 19 goals, Schmitz in fourth with 18 goals, and Klose in seventh with 17 goals. An impressive showing from Ballack, as he was also third in top assists with 7 assists from 33 matches. Unfortunately, no other players from FC Ka in the top 15. And Grill was just shy of being the top goalkeeper for the clean sheets category, as he finished in second with 13 clean sheets from 24 matches. But as we look at our squad selection for the final time in this career mode, you can see how many of our starting 11 players are actually out on international duty for the World Cup. The only player not in a international squad right now is Zagadou, which I'm a bit surprised to see considering he is an 87 overall center back. It feels weird signing off from a career mode for the final time, but I think we can truly walk away from this Kaiserslautern save knowing that we accomplished what we originally set out for, that being bringing another Bundesliga title back to Kaiserslautern. And this is actually going to be my final FIFA 20 video. I, of course, will be back in FIFA 21, and I cannot wait to push forward with more content in the next FIFA. But I think I'm going to call it there, guys. If you have enjoyed this series, make sure you leave a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. But until next time, and until next FIFA, this has been Flick. I'll be talking to y'all again soon.